Hey, this is just a really quick recording to help you outline and understand this Q3, Q4 fast launch blueprint. Now, this is something that we have designed for our members, and it's basically a plug and play system that they can deploy for customers and clients. Now, I'm going to give you access to this blueprint. You can click on it, you can engage with it, but I wanted to explain in a bit more detail what the offer structure is that you will offer to business owners, right? The systems that you're actually installing into their business. And I wanted to explain what they are because this assumes your knowledge of that system and you may not know that system. So I'm going to explain it to you right now. So this is essentially the roadmap we're following to go from zero to reaching 18,000 per month before Christmas, and that's September, October, November. And even if you hit a 50% success rate, you can hit quite close to 10,000 in monthly recurring income by Christmas. And you're going to see why this makes quite a lot of sense. Now, this system has been designed to be as plug and play as possible. Your goal is to simply install this system into a business. Now, the recommended pricing, obviously this is optional. I recommend $1,000 per month contracts. The reason for this is it's very, very easy to say yes to this offer. You can charge quadruple the price, and you're going to see the logic behind why you can charge quadruple the price in a few minutes. But regardless, this is the structure that I would recommend to get that momentum. And the reason I say that is because I believe the momentum will take you a lot further. The momentum of getting that cash flow coming in, it makes your decision making a lot easier and you can progress a lot faster. So in this example, I'm going to show you MedSpa as a market, and more specifically, I'm going to focus on the service of Botox. Now, this is the system we run here. What we're doing here is this is the AI automation system we install into their business. You've got your AI follow-up system. This works with their current customers and it focuses on maximizing the lifetime value. So let's say a current customer is in and they have automations that bring that customer to book more appointments onto the calendar. If it is Botox, for example, they have to go 3 to 4 times per year in order for the results to stay. If they don't, not only do they lose the money of the service they paid, but they also lose the progress they've made, and the beauty becomes a bit of an identity, so they want to continue going. But these businesses, med spas, they're not designed for that. They're not designed or engineered, even though their entire business relies on lifetime value and repeat business. They're not engineered for this by any means whatsoever. So what we do is we engineer the system for them. We plug it into their business. So we have follow-up systems that maximize their lifetime value, getting those existing customers back in the calendar. Then we've got our database reactivation, which essentially gets the customers who have not been active in a little while, or maybe they had Botox injections before a wedding last year, before going on vacation, whatever the scenario was, they didn't come back. And the med spa didn't follow up enough to book the appointments. We reactivate all of these old customers. Plug-in system once again, and in addition to this, we focus on referral AI as well. So basically, every customer that comes in, we can turn into 1.5 customers on average. So basically, that's an average number. Some customers bring in 3, 4, 5 friends. Some don't bring in any. But the estimate is that if you get one customer, they bring you half an additional customer. That increases their customer base by 50%, but there's no ad spend on this whatsoever. So not only are we reactivating old leads, not only are we maximizing every customer and the lifetime value, we're also bringing new business in without any ad spend. And of course, every customer we bring in goes back through this system. We can also deploy reviews AI as well to maximize the reviews. I've included that in this image simply because I wanted to keep it very simple, but we can maximize the reviews as well. Now, why would you do this? Why would anyone do this whatsoever? Or why would the business do this? A Botox clinic can have about 100 patients coming in per month. If they have been in business for 3 years, that's 3,600 customers on their list. The average price of Botox is about $500. Now, if I were to build a page, my cold traffic, ice cold, don't know who I am, converts at 6%. My warm traffic converts at 10%. And you may say these numbers, I know what I'm doing. Of course, I do. But I'm being conservative here. I'm saying 2%. Warm traffic, you'd expect at least 3 to 5%. But we're saying 2%. And remember, these are customers. These are not random leads. These are people who have paid before. If we launch these into this, we do one offer, one single offer to their existing database of 3,600 customers, we're going to start with a reactivation, or as I like to call it, an offer campaign, because they're not all old customers. Sometimes we want to offer existing customers a special offer too. So we're going to deploy this. Now, let's say we convert 2% of 3,600 customers. That's 72 customers we bring in. 72 at $500, which is the average order value, is $36,000. That's one-time revenue. Now, then our follow-up system comes into play. Let's say 75% of these customers, these 72, return for 3 visits per year, not 4, but calculating 3 here. That's 54 customers for 3 visits per year and at $500 each. That's $81,000. If we add them together, 36 plus 81,000, that's $117,000 they've made from our campaign. If we charge them $1,000 per month, $12K per year, their return on investment is 9.75 times. It's ridiculous return on investment. You could get all of this wrong and still deliver a crazy return on investment for them. And that, of course, doesn't even consider the referral AI either. If we increase their customer base, even on 1 month, if those 100 patients that came in brought 50 more in referrals, that creates an additional 50 customers at $500, which is $25,000. That's the power we have. Think about how much room you have there. What we're basically saying here is, with this result, if I put my mouse there and we take away 90% of the results, only focus on 10%, or that's $11,700, right? We've only charged them $12K. They've almost made their money back. Yet, it didn't work. It came not even close to working. So what does this actually mean? This means they've basically got a 90% chance of making their money back or making money. 90%. If you walk out in the street and you ask anybody, I will give you a 90% chance that you will make your money back, they're going to take those odds, right? It's a no-brainer for them. Of course they will. There's always going to be a risk, but remember, we're not dealing with new customers here. We're dealing with existing customers who have the trust, have already had an experience with the business, who need the service. They've already identified that they're qualified. They've already identified that they need what the business offers because they've been in before. We're not dealing with new leads here. We're dealing with existing customers. So it's extremely unlikely that they would not get a strong return on investment here. So why would the business owner work with you? Because the odds are stacked in your favor. That's the beauty of it. Yet all of these systems are pre-built. We just plug them into the business. Instead of having to worry about which niche do we go into, we can access a wide range of niches because we have the system. It is pre-built. We basically use AI to customize it for that particular niche, and we can launch. So instead of waiting 30 days to launch something, we can launch in 24 to 40 hours. That's how fast this works. It's beautiful. It's a really, really strong numbers behind this, which gives you confidence, which means you can operate with this. And of course, remember, this was with the 2% conversion rate from existing customers who are warm. That's very, very, very conservative actually. It's almost actually half of what we would probably expect. So the odds are vastly stacked in your favor. And what we continue here is the roadmap. So as you scroll down this page, you're going to see the roadmap itself. So you basically follow the AI-powered follow-up agency program. This is for lab license holders. So basically they have the license to resell all of our systems here, everything they can plug it in. And they then follow the AI employee masterclass. They've got a website template set up and go high level already for them. And we don't want them messing around here, in terms of getting the website perfect. We can deal with that later. All we want to make sure is that they have a footprint active. That's all. If they don't have a logo, the system takes care of that for them too. Then we move on to their domain connection, step 4. Step 5, we do outbound prospecting through cold email to get started. After we have that cash flow, after we're at those big numbers, we reinvest in paid advertising to make it go even faster. However, we can start simply with cold email, and you'll see why. We can use different platforms for it. D7 is high volume but super cheap, but of course the leads have been hit quite a lot, so we just have to do a higher volume of emails. Apollo, a bit better, but a bit more expensive. But again, we just do a higher volume of emails. If we go the more expensive path, we can get list builders to do it for us. Then as we progress, we use hyper personalization. We use AI to personalize it for us. We set everything up so it's automated through either Go High Level or Woodpecker. Then we send 35 emails per day. We also use AI to create Instagram messages. And as we have a coffee in the morning, we just send 15 copy and paste DMs to business owners, 15 per day. Why do we do this? Because we want to hit this number. This is the most important number for us. 1,200 prospects per month. That leads to 24 sales calls, which is a 2% booking rate. I would probably expect 4 to 6%, but we're going to go with 2%. 24 sales calls. And because of this offer, because we have these numbers up here, it's a bit of a no-brainer, and it's only $1,000 per month, so it's a really low cost for business owners. They only have to close 2 in this example, and they've made their month's money back out of 3,600, I think it was. So it's a no-brainer for them. So I would estimate your close rate is probably closer to 30 to 35%. But of course, you're going to have no-shows to calls. So I've dropped that to 25% just to simplify the numbers for you and to account for any no-shows. If we close 6 new clients at $1,000 each, that's $6,000 in monthly recurring revenue. We do this over and over again for 3 months, and that can produce 6 clients per month at $6,000 each in subscription income, which gets us to the $18,000 in income built up over the next 3 months. Now, if you don't hit these conversion benchmarks, it's okay, because you can hit half of these numbers and still hit $9,000 in monthly repeating income, which is very sticky because we cement ourselves into the business. Now, there's only one non-negotiable here. You have to control your inputs. We can't control conversion rates. We can optimize for them, but we can't control it. We can't control any part of that process beyond that. What we can control, however, is the amount of inputs. 50 per day. You must do this. If you don't do this, nothing will work. Of course it won't, right? You're not reaching out to enough people. It's not going to work. So you can control this. You must make sure the inputs happen. Now, the good news is it's very heavily automated. After you set up the email automation, it's automated. We can upload 1,000 people to the system and it will send 35 per day for us, paced quite nicely, which means after it has been set up, all you have to do is copy and paste an Instagram message to 15 people per day over a coffee. That's it. That's your inputs. You set the system up, you follow our steps up here. You set this system up, and then your daily task is, while you have a coffee in the morning, send 15 messages. And these are your action steps here, step by step, through the whole process, exactly what you have to do, everything. And if you need help closing the customers, or license holders need help closing the customers, that's fine. We can help them, but this is the clear input. This is what they have to do, and they have to commit to it. This is essentially the process we're committing to for the next 90 days. High demand offer. The numbers make complete sense. It is plug-in. They have all the software they need, and that's essentially the roadmap they take to the 8, even the 10, the 12, 15, 18,000 per month mark over the next 90 days. And the reality is, it's quite simple. It's quite simple. They don't have to learn fulfillment because it's plug-in. That's the beauty of it. That's why they license the systems, right? They plug them in. We can edit them with ChatGPT and AI and such, but we simply plug the system in. That's the beauty of a license. That's why they do it. And yes, that is the path I would recommend you take if you want to be quite aggressive about it. So have a read through this, pause the video if you have to, but yeah, any questions, just let us know.